Front yard setback from Bayview Walk for proposed shed, existing awning, existing deck around ice cream shop. Height variance for proposed 12-foot high fence located in the front yard on Bayview Walk. Front yard setback from Bayview Walk and Cherry Grove Walk for existing deck with steps and pavers. Front yard setback variance from Cherry Grove Walk for 2 existing decks, 2 walks, plastic roof over deck, and shed. Permission for 6-foot high wood wall, deck, retail building. Permission for 6-foot high concrete wall. Permission for existing wood walls varying in height from 3 to 6 feet high located in the front yards on South Walk and East Walk. Also permission to exceed the 50% lot occupancy permitted, 91.28%.
Thank you, gentlemen. While we are setting up, the record should reflect that the board's planner reviewed this application, provided certain comments to the board. Mr. Reed is present. He will testify as to his comments.
Property is located on the southeast corner of Bayview Walk and Holly Walk in the hamlet of Cherry Grove, and the property is improved with a 1-story frame building, 2 retail buildings, swim pool, and multiple sheds and decks, which are to remain on the premises. The applicant is also intending to reconstruct a 2-story hotel, which succumbed to fire damage in March 2015. The relief, as requested, as previously read by Ms. Ricarrdi, the parcel is within the Great South Beach and Fire Island National Seashore. It is noted that Section 85377C2 of the Town Code states that a legal non-conforming use, if discontinued by virtue of fire, explosion, acts of God, or other causes, to the extent of not more than 75% of the total use, shall not be deemed to have lost its legal non-conforming use status. The reconstruction and restoration of said use, where discontinued to more than 75% of the total use, shall be determined by the following guidelines, of which include the following: those legal non-conforming uses established prior to October 17, 1984, shall be reconstructed in accordance with the building's dimensions as stated in this article. It is noted that a certificate of existing use 5348 is on file for a 1- and 2-story hotel, 171 foot by 123 feet, with decks as per survey dated January 30, 1974. And the proposed building appears to be slightly larger than the one which succumbed to the fire. While a certain increase in the area may be appropriate due to building mechanicals and fire safety, clarification by the applicant is recommended as to the former and current hotel size. It is noted that the Board of Zoning Appeals heard similar relief for fire-damaged commercial buildings in Fire Island Pines. In an application known as Daneke, case number 11 of January 11, 2012, the board granted relief for the reconstruction of a commercial building requiring dimensional relief as well as 98.8% lot occupancy relief. In an application known as FIP Ventures, case number 33 of January 25, 2012, the board granted permission for the reconstruction of a commercial building requiring front, rear, minimum, and total side yard relief and 95.8% lot occupancy relief. And in its findings and conclusions in the FIP Ventures case, the board concluded that the multiple requests for setback relief and lot coverage of 95.8% is within the nature and character of the commercial properties in the Pines community. Feasible alternatives do not exist, despite the substantial nature of the relief requested, and while self-created, no adverse physical and environmental effects are anticipated. And findings of fact also made reference to the uniqueness of the application in terms of the few commercial properties, in that the neighborhood and the benefit to the economy and real estate values, and the fact that it would not create a precedent for residential zoned properties. Request for lot occupancy is significant at 91.2%, and a certificate of compliance 25535. It's on file for the 16 by 24 foot shed at the southeast corner, an 8 foot by 12 foot shed, and 22 by 52 foot deck and fencing. So while permission to rebuild the hotel may be appropriate, the applicant also seeks numerous relief for decks, sheds, and fencing which do not appear to have any association with the fire, and some of which were constructed without appropriate permits. These amenities likely contribute to the significant lot occupancy relief. The property is within 150 feet of the Great South Bay, and as such, the application will likely be subject to permits from the town of Brookhaven, Department of Environmental Protection under Chapter 81 Wetlands and Waterways. And as per the State Environmental Quality Review Act, the application is a Type 2 action, and should the board look favorably, no mitigation measures are recommended.
So for the record, those are the comments of the board's planner, Christopher Reed. Mr. Russo, how do you wish to proceed?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, for the record, my name is Eric Russo. I'm with the law firm of Van Russo, Russo, with offices at 140 Main Street, Salem, New York.